Environment Day. I hope everybody has done their level best to make the world a greener place for everyone. It is not a program that we have to observe only for one day. It is a routine based program. We need to do it every day. Every day we need to either plant a tree, we either need to do a recycling of our products, either every day we need to do something so that we can help the world, planet to restore itself. And that is maybe this year it has the theme has been mentioned as the ecosystem restoration. Today we have guests from different sectors, from a student to a parent to a school to a conservator. So they were going to share their views and their contribution towards the climate change, what they are doing it in their, I would say, in small or bigger way, but they are contributing, and that is the most important aspect in this scenario right now. So, to begin with, I would like to introduce our very special guest. Uh, he is Master Sharnavya. He is a grade 6 student from Trio World School, Bangalore. Uh, and he's working in this field for the last 3 years to fight climate crisis using a pioneering concept of wasted pencil shavings. Uh, he has presented at Children's Climate Conference India and Indian Avishkar National event, thereby winning awards as Best Researcher, Youngest Innovator, Best Green Solution Provider, etc., for his contribution and making innovative products such as Claywood plastic-free pens, green beans, pencil sharpening stations for installations in schools, organic pesticides, and for agriculture. He project supports water conservation, recycling, and reduces plastic usage. Further, he was invited and has participated in Boston Green Fest and was also selected to present his idea at the United Nations Associated Green Mentors Children's Climate Conference held online at New York in September 2020. He has been a keynote speaker on UN SDG at Indo Data Week, an international conference of leaders featuring the international data science for SDGs. He had been selected to be, sorry for the interruption. He had been selected to be a part of the Indian national team to lead various initiatives under the UN 75 consultations across the country through United Nations and confederations of young leaders. He was the youngest selected member and worked with national team members to shape the public discourse around United Nations and contribute to the conservation around the future of United Nations. He is the founder of the organization Menu for Earth, and today, on this auspicious occasion of World Environment Day 2021, he launches his website, which is a work which is in progress as we speak now. Congratulations for launching your website, and thank you for joining us all the way from Bangalore, Charnavya.
Thank you,
Yeah. We will
ma'am. So,
also
ma'am,
we will first do the introduction part. Now I want to introduce our other guests of the evening. With us we have Mr. Joynal Abedin Akabenu, a wildlife conservator by passion, born in 1964 at Gujarat. He started his conservation works in uh, in 90s, but when he thought of his earning source, he came up with a small hut in the bank of river Dibru in 1999. The cottage named Banashri is a home for tourists which introduces nature with the people. Besides this, he is supporting the environmental conservation work via nature awareness camps, workshops helping researchers throughout the world. He's also got the Guinness World Record for highest plantation in 2008 is in his credit as an independent observer. He's awarded the Tourism Promotion Award sorry, Award 2014. Limca Book of Records for highest plantation in 22 minutes in 2015 is also in his credit. Over time, he has worked with National Geographic, BBC, Discovery, Austria, film production, etc. And his work got published in National Geographic Traveler magazine, Open magazine. Thank you so much, Benuda, for joining us tonight. With him, his son has also joined, who is a WPF photographer who won the WPF photographer of the year 2017 nominee. He is a BSc student, geology, 5th semester of Tinsukia College under the university. He is an extremely passionate birder and nature wildlife photographer, filmmaker. He has received numerous awards in photography and filmmaking. He is also a National Geographic featured artist. In 2018 and 2019, he was been awarded by 35 international photo awards in Russia. In May 21, he has been listed among top 12% photographers and his photograph among top 7% of the globe by 35 international awards in Russia. An active member of Cornell Lab of Ornithology, Cornell University, USA. He's also the founder and creative director of Wild Feature Creations, a film and photo production company. He's also been awarded by Awesome Assam for his photography and filmmaking consecutively for 2 years, that is 2019 and 2020. He's also the winner of the state level photography competition organized by Biodiversity Board, Government of Assam. He's been frequently invited as guest lecturer Pragjyotish College University in Meghalaya, and he's also been selected for national level workshop come internship in IIT Mumbai. He has numerous publications in national and international magazines. He's also the official photographer for Roundglass Wellbeing Private Limited. He's the video producer for International Media House at Al Jazeera East Mojo. And he is the video producer for UNESCO, the Ministry of Finance, and he's also the author of book Serene Soraipo, The Mystic Tale of Dihin Patkai Wildlife Sanctuary, to be published soon. Welcome, Imon, on this show. Now I come back to the introduction of the other members of this panel. She is, one second. She is Akanksha Dwara. She is the Vice Principal of Akshar Foundation, and she has been a postgraduate from TIS Sociology and Social Anthropology. So Akshar Foundation is a model school in Assam. It is a testing ground for innovative teaching methods. It uses meta technique teaching, which ensures that all children receive the individual support and encouragement they need to learn effectively. I'm not being able to find it. Akanksha, can you just put on your mic and your video, please? Akshar Foundation teaches the older students how to teach and employs them as teaching assistants, for which they are being paid in the form of toy money, which they can use for buying whatever they like from online shopping platforms. Every student pays the school fees with plastics from their homes, which is stored in the recycling center at school and is used for making eco bricks for simple construction. Akshar also provides with various vocational training classes like electrician training, carpentry training, landscaping, office work training, etc. Thank you, Akanksha, for joining us in the show. With us, we have a parent, a mother of two, who is a blogger, who is an influencer, and to be frank, I regularly follow her Instagram handles because she keeps on motivating me with her new ideas of a sustainable lifestyle. Welcome, Gopa Vejborwa, on this show. Your phone is mute.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gopa, for joining. And last but not the least, we are unable to get in touch with him because he is attending another program, and he's none other than the Forest Men of India, Padma Shri Jadab Payam. He has promised us that he will be joining soon as he's finishing with the webinar. He will join us soon. So coming back to this program, I would like to start with Benuda, Joinal Abidin sir, and his son Imon, on how they are working on the sustainable development of the society, of the environment, and how do you think what will be the role of children, role of youth in this sustainable development? You are on mute, so I'm not being able to. You are on mute right now, Benuda. You muted us. ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে
মই প্ৰথমতে আমি ওয়ার্ল্ড এনভায়রনমেন্ট ডে সবকে শুভেচ্ছা জানাইছো আমাৰ এই বছৰতে প্ৰকৃতি সংৰক্ষণৰ হকে কাম কৰি অহা সুন্দৰলাল বৰগোহাঁই তেখেতৰ মৃত্যু হৈছে তেখেতৰ মৃত্যুত শ্ৰদ্ধাঞ্জলি জনাইছো লগতে অসমৰ দুজন বিশেষ ব্যক্তি বেংকৰ আৰু লক্ষ্মীনন্দন বৰাচাৰ
Benuda, 1 minute rakhibo. Before we continue with the program, I would request all the other participants to be on mute, please. Benuda, etia apni kobo pare.
বিশ্ব পৰিৱেশ দিৱস আজি থিম আছিল ইকোচিষ্টেম গোটেই মূলতে কথাখিনি হ'ল যে গছপুলি ৰোপণ কৰা, বন্যপ্ৰাণী সংৰক্ষণ কৰা, প্ৰকৃতিক আমি কেনেকৈ সংৰক্ষণ কৰি ৰাখিম তাৰে এটা চিন্তাধাৰণী এই বিশ্ব পৰিৱেশ দিৱস আৰম্ভ হৈছিল। সেইমতে বিশ্ব পৰিৱেশ দিৱস চলি আছে আৰু প্ৰত্যেকটো 5 জুনৰ তাৰিখতে অসমৰ হওক বা ভাৰতবৰ্ষৰ পৃথিৱীৰ সকলো মানুহে এই দিনাখন এটা এটা পুলি ৰোপণ কৰে, বৃক্ষ ৰোপণ কৰে, সেই ধাৰণালৈ চলি আছে। এতিয়া কথা হ'ল যে আমাৰ যিমান সম্ভৱ আমি প্ৰকৃতি যিমান ধ্বংস কৰিম আকৌ সেইখিনি ঘূৰাই আনিবৰ কাৰণে তোমাৰ এটা প্ৰচেষ্টা কৰি আছো আৰু সেই প্ৰচেষ্টাখিনি হ'ল আমাৰ নেক্সট প্ৰজন্মক দিয়াৰ কাৰণে যে আমি যিমান নষ্ট কৰি গ'লো সেইখিনি যদি নষ্ট কৰি গৈ পেলাই নেক্সট প্ৰজন্মই আমাৰ ৰাজ্যৰ কৰ্তব্য দেখিব তাৰে এটা প্ৰচেষ্টা লৈ আজিৰ এই দিনটো যে প্ৰত্যেক মানুহে নিজে নিজে এটা বৃক্ষ ৰোপণ কৰিছে। মই আজি ৰাতিপুৱা পৰা দেখিছো বহুত কম মোৰ তালিকা আহিছে যে এটা পুলি লাগে, যেনেকৈ আমাক এটা পুলি তো মোৰ এটা ধাৰণা যে ঠিকে আছে এটা পুলি লাগে ভাল কথা যে এইটো পুলি ডাঙৰ পানী পুলি কৰিব জহৰ হ'ব গতিকে সদায় যদি প্ৰত্যেকজন মানুহে যদি এটা পুলি লগাওঁ তেতিয়াও আমাৰ পৃথিৱীখন সেউজীয়া হৈ আহিব। সেইটো কাৰণে আজিৰ দিনটোত চবেই ধুনীয়াকৈ কাম কৰি আছে আৰু আমি ভাবো যে যিটো ছাবজেক্ট বাইদেউ আমাৰ দিছিলে যে সাষ্টেইনেবল আমি এই প্ৰকৃতি সংৰক্ষণ কৰি কি কৰিম। মই বহু সময়তে অনুষ্ঠান কৰি থাকোঁতে বহুতে আমাক কুৱেশ্যন কৰে যে প্ৰকৃতি সংৰক্ষণ কৰি আমাৰ কি লাভ কি হ'ব। এনে এটা ধাৰণা যে প্ৰকৃতি সংৰক্ষণ কৰিলে আমাৰ পৰিৱেশটো ভাল হৈ থাকিব, আমি অক্সিজেন পাম, সেই এটা ধাৰণালৈ কিনে কৰা হয়। কিন্তু তাতকৈ ডাঙৰ কথাটো হ'ল যে প্ৰকৃতি সংৰক্ষণ কৰাৰ পৰা আমাক সাষ্টেইনেবল ডেভেলপমেণ্টৰ কথাটো হৈছে আমি এখন চ'ৰ্চ কেনেকৈ জেনেৰেট কৰিম। এতিয়া মোক যদি কোনোবাই সুধে যে ডাঙৰীয়া আপোনাৰ মানে আৰ্নিং চ'ৰ্চ, মই আৰ্নিং চ'ৰ্চটো কয় যে প্ৰকৃতিটো মোৰ আৰ্নিং চ'ৰ্চ। মোক ক'লে প্ৰকৃতিৰ আৰ্নিং চ'ৰ্চ আপোনাৰ কেনেকৈ হ'ব? তো প্ৰকৃতিৰ আৰ্নিং চ'ৰ্চ মোৰ এনেকৈ হয় যে মই প্ৰকৃতিটোক মানুহক ইণ্ট্ৰডিউচ কৰাই ঘূৰাই মই এটা পইচা লওঁ আৰু সেইটোকে এটা টুৰিজিম বুলি কোৱা যে পৰ্যটন উদ্যোগ কৰি উঠাই আছো, যে আমি পৰ্যটন উদ্যোগ কৰি আছো আৰু সেই পৰ্যটন উদ্যোগটোৰ লগত আমি যেতিয়া এটা গছৰ লগত চিনাকি কৰি দিওঁ তেতিয়া সেই গছৰ লগত চিনাকি কৰি দিওঁ যে যিটো পইচা আৰ্ণ কৰি আছো সেইটো পইচা আমাৰ বহুত তললৈকে গুচি গৈ আছে। এটা দোকানীয়ে পইচাটো পাই আছে, এটা মানুহৰ ড্ৰাইভাৰ পাই আছে, এটা গাড়ী ড্ৰাইভাৰ পাই আছে, এটা বাচন ধোৱা মানুহে পাই আছে, এজন গাইডে পইচাটো পাই আছে। এনেকে পইচাটো চাৰিওফালে এটা ডিষ্ট্ৰিবিউট কৰি গৈছে, তেনেকৈ চবে আৰ্ণ কৰি আছে। সেই গোটেই আৰ্নিংটো হ'ল প্ৰকৃতি, আমি প্ৰকৃতিটো দেখাই থকা যেহেতু অসম বায়োডাইভাৰ্চিটি বহুত ৰিচ, যে অসমত মানে প্ৰকৃতিৰ যি অৱদান অসমত আছে, যি প্ৰকৃতিটো অসমত ভালকে দেখা নাই, সি অসমৰ প্ৰকৃতিৰ কথা ক'ব নোৱাৰিব যে অসম প্ৰকৃতিৰ হেৰি বায়োডাইভাৰ্চিটি কিমান ৰিচ চাৰিওফালে। আপুনি অকলে ৱাইল্ড লাইফ চেঞ্চুৰী বা নেশ্যনেল পাৰ্ক এইটো দেখাৰ দৰকাৰ নাই, তাৰ বাহিৰতো আপুনি চাওক আমাৰ নেচাৰ কিমান গছ আছে। আজি আমি অৰ্কিড বিলাক, আমি এটা সময়ত অৰ্কিড বিলাক দেখাই আমি দৰকাৰ, আমি বাৰ্ডছ বিলাকত আমি কৰাই দি আছো। অসমত প্ৰায় 600 স্পেচিছ বাৰ্ডছ আছে, প্ৰায় 50-60 স্পেচিছ বা অৰ্কিড আছে। এই গোটেই বস্তুবিলাকক আমি পৰিৱেশৰ পৰাই আমি দেখাই টকা উপাৰ্জন এটা পথ। আৰু এইটো গোটেই বস্তুটো হ'ল যে সাষ্টেইনেবল ডেভেলপমেণ্টৰ কথা আহিলে অলপ প্ৰকৃতিলৈ এইটো কথাও আহে, য'ত চাকৰি কাৰণে কৰা দৰকাৰ নাই, ইণ্ডিপেণ্ডেণ্ট স্বাধীনভাৱে মানুহে এই কামটো কৰিব পাৰে আৰু টকা উপাৰ্জন কৰিব পাৰে। আমি নিবনুৱা সমস্যাটো দূৰ কৰিবৰ কাৰণে মই দেখিলোঁ প্ৰকৃতিটো হ'ল বেষ্ট কথা, যে এটা আপুনি গছ দেখাই টকা আৰ্ণ কৰিছে, এটা অৰ্কিড দেখাই টকা আৰ্ণ কৰিছে। আমি এই যে ঘৰুৱা মাছবোৰ আছে, এই ঘৰুৱা মাছবোৰ দেখাই আমি টকা উপাৰ্জন কৰোঁ। আমাৰ ঘৰুৱা মাছৰ ভিতৰতো আমি অসমত প্ৰায় 31 স্পেচিছ অৰ্নামেণ্টেল ফিছ পাওঁ। এই অৰ্নামেণ্টেল ফিছবিলাক আমাৰ এনেকুৱা হয় যে আমাৰ ঘৰৰ কাৰণে এইটো আমি ভাত খাওঁ যে ডাল বনাব বুলি ভাবি লওঁ, আমি তাক ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট এই বস্তুবিলাক যদি আমি ইম্পৰ্টেঞ্চ দি যাওঁ, আমি গছবিলাকক, আমাৰ অৰ্কিডবিলাকক, আমাৰ চৰাই চিৰিকটিবিলাকক, আমাৰ ইনচেক্টবিলাকক। আৰু মই যিহেতু টুৰিজিম কৰোঁ, টুৰিজিম কৰাত মই টুৰিজিমৰ লগতে মই কনজাৰ্ভেশ্যনটো সমান অনুপাতে চলাই গৈ আছো। সেইটোৰ পৰা মই দেখো যে বহু পৰ্যটক আহে, সিহঁতে অসমৰ প্ৰকৃতিৰ সুবাস পান কৰিব, অসমৰ প্ৰকৃতিটোক চোৱাৰ। আৰু যদি আমি দেখো যে আমাৰ এই প্ৰকৃতিটো যদি উকা হৈ যায়, নেক্সট জেনেৰেশ্যনে এটা মৰুভূমি অসমটো দেখিব, অসম যিটো সেউজীয়া সেইটো নেক্সট প্ৰজন্মই দেখিব নোৱাৰিব। তো নেক্সট প্ৰজন্মক দেখিবৰ কাৰণে আজিৰ এই ৱৰ্ল্ড এনভাইৰনমেণ্ট ডে'বিলাকত যিবিলাক অনুষ্ঠান কৰি গৈ আছে আজি ৰাতিপুৱাৰ পৰাই, এই অনুষ্ঠানবিলাকক শলাগ ল'বলগীয়া যে অসমৰ প্ৰকৃতিক কেনেকে সেউজীয়া কৰি ৰাখিব, তাৰে চিন্তাধাৰা মই সৰু সৰু বাচ্চাবিলাককো আজি দেখিছো। আজি প্ৰত্যেকটো স্কুলৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীবিলাকক মই দেখিছো, যিহেতু স্কুল বন্ধ এই কৰোণাকালীন অৱস্থাত সৰু বাচ্চাবিলাকে এটা পুলি লগাই ছবি উঠাই স্কুললৈ দি পঠাইছে। সেইটো এটা খুব ইণ্টাৰেষ্টিং যে ক্লাছ নাৰ্চাৰীৰ ল'ৰা এটাই পুলি লগাবলৈ শিকিছে, আৰু সেইটো আজিৰ দিনটোৰ কাৰণে এই বস্তুটো শিকিছে। সেইটো মানে একদম সৰু কথা নহয়, আমাৰ কাৰণে হয়তো এটা সৰু কথা হ'ব পাৰে যে পুলি এটা লগোৱা কথা নহয়, কিন্তু এইটো সৰু কথা একেবাৰেই নহয়। মই আজি গোটেই দিনটো মোৰ ৰাতিপুৱাৰ পৰা সেইটো বহুত ভাল লাগি আছিল যে এই বাচ্চাবিলাকে যে পুলি লগাবলৈ শিকিলে। ইয়াৰ আগত এই সৰু ল'ৰা ছোৱালীবিলাকে কিন্তু পুলি লগোৱাৰ কথা ভাবা নাছিলে। সদায় দেখো মই ডাঙৰ মানুহবিলাকে পুলি লগাই বন মহোৎসৱ হয়, এজেড মানুহখিনিয়ে গৈ পুলি অলপ বৃক্ষৰোপণ কৰি আহে, 5 জুন আহে কৰে। কিন্তু এই বছৰ আমি দেখিছো প্ৰত্যেকটো স্কুলৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালী যে এটা এটা পুলি ৰোপণ কৰি সিহঁতে বাচ্চাবিলাকে স্কুললৈ পঠিয়াবলৈ সেইটো কম্পালচৰি কৰিছে যেন মই পাওঁ। তো সেইটো ইণ্টাৰেষ্টিং কথা। যদি 100 জনে পুলি এটা লগাইছে, হয়তো 90টা পুলি মৰিব পাৰে, কিন্তু 10টা পুলিটো বাচিব। 10টা পুলিটো আমাৰ কাৰণে বহুত অক্সিজেন আনিব। আৰু সেই 10টা গছত যদি 50 বিধ চৰাই যদি লগাই দিয়ে, তাত যদি 50 বিধ চৰাইও থাকে, সেইটোতো আমাৰ কাৰণে কম নহয়। তো এনেকুৱা বহুত কথা আছে, সৰু সৰু কথা। যেনেকুৱা এতিয়া চাওক আপুনি এই তপতজুৰি পাহাৰত যিখিনি হাতী মৰি, সেইটো এটা দুখ লগা নহয় জানো? আমাৰ প্ৰকৃতিৰ পৰা এটা বস্তু নোহোৱা হৈ গ'ল। এই আজি অলপ কিছুদিন আগতে 45 ভালচাৰ মৰি গ'ল, যে মাছত বিষ দিবলৈ গৈ, মাছ ধৰিবলৈ গৈ দিলে মাছক, তাৰপিছত সেই মাছ সগুনে খাই লৈ বহু সগুন মৰি। তো এই যে ধ্বংসলীলাবিলাক হৈ আছে, এই ধ্বংসলীলাবিলাক এই যে আজিৰ দিনটোত যিবিলাক সৰু ল'ৰা ছোৱালীবিলাক বৃক্ষৰোপণ কৰিলে, ইহঁতৰ ভিতৰত এটা কথা সদায় জাগিব যে গছ থাকিলে মানুহ থাকিব, গছ থাকিলেহে আমি থাকিম, তাৰ কাৰণে বৃক্ষৰোপণ কৰিব আমি সেউজীয়া কৰিম। আজি অনুষ্ঠানটো আমি আকৌ আহিম, মোৰ কথাবিলাকক আমি অলপ শুনিম, শুনি মেলি আমি আকৌ আহি মাজে মাজে কি ক'ব লাগে সেইখিনি আমি অলপ কৈ যাম। আৰু মোৰ ল'ৰাও আছে, মোৰ ল'ৰাও এইবিলাকলৈ কাম কৰি থাকে, মোৰ ল'ৰাই অলপ কিবা ক'ব। মই আজি আপোনালোকৰ পৰাও আমি অলপ কিছু কথা শিকিম, যিবিলাক কথা হয়তো আমি আকৌ বেলেগ ক'ৰবাত এটা ডিষ্ট্ৰিবিউট কৰিব পাৰিম, বেলেগ ক'ৰবাত এটা এৱাৰনেছ কেম্পত আমি ক'ব পাৰিম যে আমি এনেকুৱা এটা অনুষ্ঠানত বহাৰ দিনাখন আমি এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ এডভাইচবিলাক পাই গৈছো। সেইটো আমাৰ কাৰণে বহুত ইণ্টাৰেষ্টিং। মই শলাগ লৈছো আপোনালোকৰ যে প্ৰত্যেকজন ব্যক্তিৰ যিমান কেইজন আমাৰ এই অনুষ্ঠানটোত আছে, বিশেষকৈ মই মীনাক্ষী বুলিয়ে কৈছো আপোনাক যে আপুনি এই বস্তু অৰ্গেনাইজ কাৰণে আৰু মোক হঠাতে এটা টেলিফোনৰ এই সুবিধাখিনি দিয়াৰ কাৰণে মই আপোনালোকক শলাগ লৈছোঁ। অসম সেউজীয়া হওক, তাৰে কামনা কৰোঁ সদায় অসম ধুনীয়া হৈ থাকক। আৰু অসমৰ সেউজীয়াকৰণটোৱে আমাৰ উপাৰ্জনৰ এটা উপায়। যে অসম যদি সেউজীয়া নাথাকে আমাৰ কিন্তু উপাৰ্জনৰ পথ নহ'ব। বহু মানুহৰ উপাৰ্জনৰ পথ নোহোৱা হৈ যাব। বহু মানুহ বেলেগ এটা হেৰিলৈ গুচি যাব লাগিব। তাৰ কাৰণে আমাৰ পৃথিৱীখনক আমাৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীবিলাকক বাচি থাকিবৰ কাৰণে, আমাৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীখিনি এটা সেউজ পৃথিৱী দেখুৱাৰ কাৰণে আজিৰ দিনটো অত্যন্ত প্ৰয়োজন বুলি মই অনুভৱ কৰোঁ।
Thank you so much, Benuda. He has been, for those people who was not being able to understand what he said that because if there are trees, there will be birds. If there is birds, then there will be tourism. Because what he says is like, according to him, one of the most important aspect of uh, the biodiversity of Assam is because of the tourism sector. So the tourism will grow only when we started preserving our natural resources. We started growing plants. We started because we are also the home of migratory birds. During particular seasons, birds do come to our place and they stay here, and people from all over the world, they come to visit these places. He also has mentioned that Kaziranga or Pobitora is not only the places to visit. There are other flora and fauna that could be experienced in the land of Assam. Thank you so much, Benuda, for your input. I would like to invite Imon also and put some light on the topic of this, how youth can be a role model for the sustainable development. Imon?
Thank you for having me once again. Yeah, so in recent year, like I've seen that mostly the new generation and the youths have been very really actively being participated in all these wildlife or like environment conservation campaigns, climate change, climate activists. So it's been really great to see such results from them. And apparently we have seen a very I think last year we have seen huge participations of youths in campaigns for Bagjan. We have seen for being Patkai. So that really give us a sense that youths are now from the going generation, they are now really concerned about it. So yeah, and we've been doing the conservation work for very long, and we're talking about environment and so one thing we really encounter, one question we really encounter, that why conservation? Like, why do you need to conserve? And so that's really a great question. If you see that, why will people conserve? Like, is there any need if you really see? So if you for that like my father said that tourism can be a really good option as it gives employment. If people doesn't have any employment, or if they don't have any bread for eating, then why would be they a part of conservation? It's very easy to say, but doing it on the ground level is very hard. So first, employment, definitely employment. Like tourism, we have seen drastic change where tourism has developed. In environment and nature related works, there have been drastic changes. For example, let us take Motakungbil. I think everyone has heard. It's an IBA site. It's just near Bagjan, which has been really affected due to the incident. Arunachal Pradesh. Before it used to be a hunting zone. Now also people do hunt as because of their traditions, but a lot of people have changed out their mind and really into conservation works. So why is that? So that is because they've got employment. They are very good guides. They've developed tourism. Many have even studied different fields in biology and life sciences out there. Research work. Ultimately, so if you see, it's giving them bread and butter. So for earning bread and butter, they need to conserve this wildlife anyhow. So if not directly, then this is the one of the best processes we have seen. And along with that, we have seen a lot of active participation from from youth and younger children like us and younger than us. There are a lot of examples in our cases where we have seen that many students have protested against someone doing illegal fishing and cutting of the trees and deforestation. We have seen protests. Literally, small students like 4, 5 classes students have been standing out and even daring to say that. So that's a very great change. I think we have a lot more potential to do. This generation really has great potential, in conservation of nature. We have seen Greta Thunberg, doing a lot about climate injustice, and one of our Srish has been sitting here. So I think he has done a lot of in this environment field. So it's really we're really humbled and elevated to see such participation from young people. So that's really keep us high and elevated and keep encouraging us to do such great works.
Thank you, Iman, for putting so much of light. Yes, nowadays the new generation is become very conscious, and they have understood that I'm so sorry. It is like what I was saying is yes, the new generation has become a very conscious about this preservation part, and they are now they are being able to understand that they can also raise their voice, and their voice could be heard. And yes, a lot of children are coming forward and doing such things. And since one of them is here with us, we want to know your story, Sharnavya. So Sharnavya, tell us your story, how you all started, what made you think about all these things, and you are very young right now, and you had been doing so many things. So just share what you had, how it came to your mind.
Okay, okay, ma'am. So, well, I am very happy to meet you all. When I heard from my father that I was going to have new friends from Assam, I was very happy. I was actually a baby when I traveled with my parents to Guwahati. Of course, I don't remember anything, but my mom painted a very vivid and beautiful pictures of waterfalls, rains, and rivers. Unfortunately, I cannot even see or even revisit pics as my parents lost the camera. So I wish someday I would visit there and someday you would visit here. So now let me just tell you about my presentation. Okay, yeah.
So what are you going to show us now?
Well, I'm going to be showing my presentation.
This presentation is
Yeah, my work. Actually, my work.
Okay, great.
Okay, I'll just share my entire screen. Okay, can everyone see?
Not really.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, today I stand here humble in front of you all to talk about a topic that I love. It is the water conservation and improving quality of the agricultural soil by pencil shavings. So, I'm going to be talking about pencil shavings, a component of this world which everyone thinks uses. Everyone just disposes of it, thinking it has no more properties, it cannot be reused. But my research shows that it can be reused and helps in a lot of stuff. Like, my research addresses these issues, like the water requirement every alternate day at school and at home gardens, excessive use of pesticide in agriculture, and others. So, the scope of my project is to create an ecosystem within school as garbage to resources, then water conservation, agricultural resource, reducing plastic usage, and acting as organic pest repelling mulch, and most important of all, recycling. So my observations show that lots of pencil shavings are discarded from schools every day and every month. Everyone leaves pencils and starts using pens, but pens are made of plastic. That is that. According to my calculation, each my primary school in India, produces 30 kilograms of pencil shavings per month. And considering how light they are, that is something huge. But then, there are 8,50,000 primary schools in India. Therefore, total pencil shavings produced in India per month is something very huge. So this is my product for one Claywood pen. I created two versions of these. In my version 1 consisted of clay, slime, glue and pencil shavings. But you would notice that glue is kind of a chemical which I'm trying to reduce to make eco-friendly. So then I made my version 2 with clay, pencil shavings and tamarind seed paste as the soluble binder which is acting like a glue. So it has meaty seeds in it and a paper straw. So it is completely water soluble outer covering of the Claywood pens. It can be sowed again in the soil to form an entire new plant. So my initial idea for collecting pencil shavings was to install a green bin in our classroom. But then I saw the budget of our school on what it spends on plastic sharpeners every year for each student. So I decided later, why not install it with sharpeners? That way, it would cost the school very less and there would not be lots of use of plastic. So we could convert it into pencil sharpening station. And that's what I did. This is my product 2. The version 1 consisted of plastic sharpeners and a cardboard box. But since plastic is the thing I'm trying to reduce, I made my version 2. This time it is wooden, it has metal sharpeners and can be wall mounted with installed forks. The best advantage of it being it has no plastic in it. So now let me introduce you to the concept of mulching. So what is mulching? It is an agricultural practice of putting dried woods, stones or weeds on top of the fruit plant to form a protective layer over it. So, if we compare the both, no mulch or when watered up to 80% of the rainwater evaporates. Then, if the plant is mulched, only 10% of rainwater evaporates, thereby creating the need to water it only every day. And also they have a much higher produce rate than plants grown without mulch. So let's skip at this step. So why do I want pencil shavings? Pencil shavings are like the wooden chips left after carpenter's work. I wondered, what is it even used for? Are they a waste? Are they discarded? Then I found an interesting, it was about mulching. These are used for mulching. If wood chips can be used for mulching, why not pencil shavings? There are lots of different kinds of mulch, like rubber mulch, wood mulch, classic cedar mulch, and plastic mulch. Cedar wood are the most preferable. Why? They have a chemical called tujapelicin which repels ants, cockroaches, moths, and all other pests. So, why am I talking about this pest repelling property of cedar wood? Because I made an interesting discovery. The pencils and the pencil shavings are made of cedar wood. so thereby making them the perfect candidate for mulch with pest repelling properties of cedar wood. So that's my discovery that I made. So these are the benefits of pencil shaving mulch. It helps in moisture retention, conserving water, temperature control, weed control, pest control, and others. So I was one day wondering, will it actually work in a real environment? Will it work at all? So then I did my experiment. I installed pencil sharpening stations in grade 1 at my school and then carried out the mulching experiment at 2 garden patches in my school premises. So these are my actions. Okay, so this is still a work in progress, which I'm still working on. So this is my business model. So as I said, there are about 8,50,000 schools in India. The schools are the consumers and as well as the sources and the factories of mulch. Consumers, as they will buy my pencil sharpening stations and plywood pens, and also the factories of mulch as they produce the mulch. So we can pack this mulch and sell it to the farmers. But considering farmers are not that rich, we can provide it free to farmers with the help of pencil industries such as Natraj and Camlin. They can pick it up from the school on school holidays. So this is my third product, Pay Mulch. It is basically a packet with all my mulch ready to go. So this is my product 4, which is still kind of work in progress. So then, this is my vision. My vision is to create a system between the school and the station industries and farmers. The school would provide the station industries like Camlin and Natraj with pencil shavings, which they could provide free to the farmers for free. So we have to give back partially to Mother Earth what she has given us. So this is the significance of my project. So the challenges and solutions. I have faced a lot of challenges and solutions. One of them being the supplying of mulch to the farmers. And as I said, we can create a system between schools and small scale industries to supply the mulch. So my project is based on 3 P's: people, profit, and planet. People, as the production of my pencil sharpening stations and plywood pens will create jobs for people. Profit, as this project will generate money by selling the products. And planet, as this project is completely eco-friendly and has practices that conserve water, reduce plastic, and improve the quality of food plant by improving the quality of soil. So, this is a classroom-inspired original idea with pencil shaving mulch for the production of good quality crop. It recycles the resources and reduces the use of plastic to help create 4 new products and is based on the business model of 3 P's: people, profit, and planet. So now let me tell you about my 3 A's: awakening, awareness, and action. In the first picture is where I'm currently living. Lots of years ago, it used to be it may have been a beautiful jungle with mountains in the picture, but we really can't see it. And there's also a river flowing by the right side. So, yesterday I was saddened by something over here. The few black sheep were grazing in those barren lands. But because of all this deforestation, there is hardly any grass growing here. I was saddened by the fact that what would they eat that much? What would happen to them? So then Let's move on to the next picture. This is where my granddad lives. Someone posted this picture as a beautiful sight in the, well, posted a picture. They said it was a beautiful sight, and I agree. But I'm saddened by something. Can anyone tell me what? Well, I'm saddened that its liveliness is gone. There is not any more trees, hardly any trees I can see. And its soul is gone. So, are you thinking what has happened here? Are you pondering how can you contribute? You are awakening, my friends. It's the first step. With awakening comes awareness. You are getting aware of your environments and the problems that are surrounding it. You are getting ready to spread awareness both about cause and finding the solution. So where do you start? You start at your own home. With awareness comes the desire for action, to act on the issue. You can act by doing small stuff like using paper bags and others. I'll explain it a bit in detail later. So, in my society, there is a company called Rudra in which we give them plastic which they convert into polyfuel, which can be used in boilers and be used in stuffs. So then again in my granddad society, there is this company called Refillable. As you know, every time we go to the store to buy sanitizers, hand sanitizers, hand wash, etc., you have to buy a complete new bottle to get it. And it's most usually made of plastic. So, this company, all you have to have is your glass bottles and reusable bottles, which they would fill for you. They can provide you with floor cleaners, detergents, hand sanitizers, and hand wash. So let's talk about this action. So every time we segregate waste as wet, dry, and others, we contribute. My society does. You use paper bags, you contribute. When you create awareness, you try to find solution or do action, you contribute. That is what is needed. We have to contribute even in a small way, but do it. But we have to do it to prevent climate change. So before I take your leave, let's connect. Do share your thoughts and pictures. How are you creating awareness? What is your effort to save the environment? Let's decide, launch, and be all part of Menu for Earth, which is an organization I just launched today on Earth Day. Menu for Earth can be divided into me and you for Earth. So our aim is we will recycle, we will reuse, we reduce plastic. What else? What do you stand for? Email me at my email sharnave@gmail.com. Thank you. Thank you.
Sharnavya, can you
Thank you, Sharnavya, for giving such an important input. Thank you, Sharnavya, for putting so much of light on your projects. It's wonderful to see that how deeply you are connected to Mother Earth and how you are trying your level best to preserve it. But tell me one thing, what made you think, like how did you come with those projects? I know that you had been, when you started, you had been using these pencils and you must have been sharpening it. But then how did you feel that you can relate it to preserve Mother Earth? How did you feel? How did it come to your mind?
Excuse me, could you just repeat the question?
I'm just asking you that how did it come to your mind that you should do something like this, like working on the pencil sharpenings? Okay, and what made you think that okay, this could help me to put a single small step in the preservation of the Mother Earth?
Okay, well, to answer your question, I was observing some stuff in my class that had been going on for lots of years, for as long as I had been in class, was that every child used to go near the dustbin and keep on sharpening their pencils to talk to each other and etc. Usually, when one was sharpening their pencils, their friends would go to the dustbin to sharpen and just chat. So then I thought about those pencil shavings that were so harshly being wasted. What could I do? I needed to reuse them somehow, as everyone was saying, recycle, reuse, and reduce. So I researched pencil shavings, and then I found out about this set down, mulch, etc. So then I thought we could use it to protect the Mother Earth by, well, making, not using pesticides, then conserving water, as there is a huge shortage of water going around here.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sharanvia. We will.
Excuse me, ma'am, you're muted.
Thank you so much, Sharanvia, for giving us this input. And I would like to share your email ID as well as your website with the children who has been watching you. I guess they will have a lot of things to learn from you. And we will come back to the interactive session after we finish up with this whole program. We are trying to get in touch with Padmashri Jadhav Payal sir, because he said that he can just join in with us.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Ma'am, my website is still a work in progress since I just launched it today. So I can share you my email, but my website will be shared in a few days or so.
No issues, Shanvia. It is when you are sharing your email ID, the children can directly connect it to you. And as and when your website is launched, then definitely they will be able to get in touch with you through your email.
Yeah, sure.
Website. Yes?
I'll just type my email on the chat.
Okay. So till sir comes back to us, we can join with sir. I would like to go to Akanksha from Akshar Foundation. Hi, Akanksha.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi. So as you are the vice principal of the school, so give us a brief on
Okay, so Akshar was started with the sole motive of eradicating the poverty cycle, or I would say also the growing number of school dropouts that we see in India, and also the growing number of child labor. So those were the main motives that we had in our mind when we started with this school. So we chose the area of Pamoni, where we have our model school. So why we chose that area is because, first of all, we went on a survey when we saw that it's a very, village, a very remote area, located in a very remote area. And then while doing the survey, we found out that there's a lot of children who never went to school at all. And also a large number of school dropouts were there. So we thought of starting with this area. And we have our model school in Bamun Kochuk, that's in Guwahati, Assam. Yeah.
Okay. So do you only collect plastic bottles, or you collect other plastic material also? Is it only confined to bottles, or is it other stuffs also?
Okay, so basically when we started with the school, we wanted to have a very different model. As in we had this thing that we will not have it as a normal school where you would find students, coming to classes, having their regular classes and going back. So we had a very different model where all the students are placed in levels according to their understanding, and we don't group them based on their age structure. So when they come to us, we take a test, and accordingly we place them to whichever levels they fall. For maths and for English, we have separate levels, because a kid can be, he or she might be very good in maths, but he or she can be a little bit can lack in English. or language. Yeah. So for that we have level system in our school. You might find different age groups sitting together in one single class. So initially, it was very difficult for us to encourage the people around and to make them understand why we wanted them to come in and why we wanted, like, how different it would be from any other school. So also, when we started off with only 20 kids because it was, of course, difficult, and then we also focused on a lot of school dropouts as well. So we started getting kids as because we went on surveys and we made campaigns and where we tried to connect with the parents and the society. So yeah, so it was really difficult initially, but gradually it's going great now. And then there are a lot of enrollments coming in. So the first problem that we saw when we started was plastics, basically. So the reports that we
Sorry.
get, or the reports that we got from the students, we found out that they used to burn plastics for cooking, or for like in winter season they used to burn plastic so that they can just keep themselves warm.
Sorry to interrupt, Akanksha. I'll come back to you because Jadab sir has just joined and he will have to leave immediately after we have a discussion. I hope you won't mind. We will come back and we will continue with the talk. Please don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
I'm just welcoming Jadab sir on this program.
Yeah.
Namaskar, sir. আপুনি মোৰ শুনা পাইছেনে বাৰু মাতটো? আপোনাৰ হেৰিটো মিউটত আছে, মিউটটো গুচাই দিব লাগিব। স্যার আপুনি শুনা পাইছে আমাৰ ভয়েসটো? আপোনাৰ মাইকটো মিউটত আছে, মিউটটো গুচাই দিব লাগিব। নমস্কাৰ স্যার, আমাৰ অনুষ্ঠানলৈ আপোনাক স্বাগতম জনাইছো। আপুনি অলপ সময় যে আমাক দিব পাৰিছে,
ধন্যবাদ জনাইছো।
আপুনি যে আহিব পাৰিছে, আমাক সময় দিছে, সেইটোৰ কাৰণে অশেষ ধন্যবাদ। আমাৰ যিখিনি ল'ৰা ছোৱালী আছে, যিখিনি প্ৰজন্ম, আমাৰ নতুন প্ৰজন্ম, উঠি অহা প্ৰজন্ম, সেইখিনিক আপোনাৰ কি ক'ব বিচাৰে যে এই আমাৰ পৃথিৱীখন আমি আকৌ সেউজীয়া কৰি তুলিবৰ কাৰণে আমি কি কৰিব লাগিব, আমাৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীখিনি কি শিকিব লাগিব, সেইখিনি যদি আপুনি অকমান তাতে পোহৰ দিব পাৰে, আমাৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীখিনি বহুত শিকিব পাৰিব।
সেইটোতো সেই বিষয়ে আজি পৃথিৱীত ল'ৰা ছোৱালীৰ লগত থকা বাবে ল'ৰা ছোৱালীক মই প্ৰেক্টিকেল নলেজ, মানে আমাৰ শিক্ষা ব্যৱস্থাটো বেয়া, মানে এইখনে বেয়া। আমি বিশ্ব পৰিৱেশ দিৱস পালন কৰো, সেইটো কিমান বছৰ হৈ গ'ল, 1972 চনৰ এই ছুইডেনৰ ষ্টকহোম 113 ঘোষণা কৰে। তেতিয়াই জলবায়ু পৰিৱৰ্তন হৈছে। ভাৰতবৰ্ষত 1973 চনত পাঠ্যক্ৰমত সোমাই ললে। 1974 চনত ধাৰ্য কৰিলে বিশ্ব পৰিৱেশ দিৱস। ভাৰতৰ স্কুল ভাৰত বাহিৰৰ স্কুল বিলাকত we both have got শিক্ষক কি বলে
We lost connection with him. There is a lot of internet issues coming up from his end. As he had told me earlier also that during the last flood in 2020, their tower has been submerged. So it is very difficult for them to get in touch on the internet. And being from a very remote place, so it becomes difficult for, he has joined again. So, sir, apni join karo parise? Hi.
কথা মত হৈ যায় তাৰ ওপৰত তুমি কি কৰিব এতিয়া শিক্ষাটো তাৰ ওপৰত তুমি আগত জন্মতিথি কি কৈছে কেক কাটিছে এতিয়া কেকৰ বদলি প্ৰতিটো ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীয়ে জন্ম শিক্ষাখন এজোপা গছ পুলি ৰুব লাগিব আৰু যি বন্ধু বান্ধৱী মাতিব সেইখিনিক এজোপাকৈ গছ পুলি ৰুব তেতিয়া পৃথিৱীখন সোনকালেই তৈরি হ'ল আৰু সেইখিনি লোৱা ফলে পৃথিৱীৰ ভাৰসাম্য ৰাখিব আনে নোৱাৰে আমি মানে কামত পাৰ কৰি নহয় সেই যিদিনা গছে কাপোৰ পিন্ধিবলৈ শিকাইছিল চৰাই আকাশত উৰিবলৈ শিকাইছিল সেইদিন ধৰি সমগ্ৰ বিশ্বই প্ৰকৃতিক দাস হিচাপে ব্যৱহাৰ কৰাৰ ফলত জলবায়ু পৰিৱৰ্তন হোৱা COVID-19 সুবিধা পালে মানুহে মানুহক চুলে নহয় ইয়াৰ কাৰণ থকা নহয় দ্ৰুতগতিত জনসংখ্যা বৃদ্ধি দ্ৰুতগতিত নগৰীকৰণ দ্ৰুতগতিত উদ্যোগীকৰণ দ্ৰুতগতিত যান্ত্ৰিকৰণৰ ফলতে সমগ্ৰ বিশ্বলৈ কৰি আনিছে বিদ্যুৎ যাৰ বাবে প্ৰকৃতিয়ে বাৰম্বাৰ বিশ্বক সহায় দিছে বিশ্বলৈকে কিন্তু জানিও নেজানে দেখিও নেদেখে সেইকাৰণে তাৰ ফলতে COVID-19 পাই গৈছে সেইটো খুব ডাঙৰ কথা হৈ গৈছে সেইকাৰণে মই আশা ৰাখিছো আজি যিমান মানুহ মৰিছে হাৰ্ট এটেকত হওক অন্যান্য বেমাৰতে হওক অক্সিজেনৰ অভাৱত মৰিছে অক্সিজেনৰ অভাৱত এই কথাটো কি হয় সেইকাৰণে ভাৰতবৰ্ষতো বহুত কণ্ডিশ্যন আছে ভাৰতবৰ্ষ 2050 চনৰ ভিতৰত বিশ্বৰ ভিতৰত জনসংখ্যা বেছি এতিয়া আমাৰ জলবায়ু পৰিৱৰ্তন কিমান হ'ব সেইকাৰণে গোটেই ভাৰতবৰ্ষত যিমানবোৰ খালী ঠাই আছে সেইবোৰ গছ গছনি আমি ফিলাপ কিবা ফৰেষ্ট সংৰক্ষণ কৰিব লাগিব কালি পৰিৱেশ মন্ত্ৰালয়ৰ পৰা দিল্লীত এইবোৰ কথা স্পষ্ট ভাষাত কৈ দিছে নহলে ভাৰতলৈ বহুত প্ৰত্যাহ্বান আহি গৈছে সেইকাৰণে এই প্ৰত্যাহ্বান নিষ্পত্তি কৰিবৰ কাৰণে আমি ভাৰতবৰ্ষত যিমান ফৰেষ্ট এৰিয়া আছে সংৰক্ষণ কৰি ৰাখিবই লাগিব আৰু যাতে ফৰেষ্টবোৰ বেদখলে হওক বা ইণ্ডাষ্ট্ৰিয়েল কৰিবলৈ অনুৰোধ কৰিছো যে আপোনালোক এইবোৰ নতুন পদ্মশালা বহুত আছে আৰু উত্তৰ পূৰ্বাঞ্চলৰ ভিতৰত এখন ভিতৰত পানী এতিয়া এতিয়া ব্ৰহ্মপুত্ৰ পানীটো বহুত কমি গ'ল সেইকাৰণে এইবিলাক আমি নিজে জলবায়ু পৰিৱৰ্তন বুজি পাইছো এণ্টাৰ্কটিকাতে বৰফ নাথাকে কোনে নাথাকে সাগৰৰ মাজতো বৰফ থাকে সাগৰৰ মাজৰ বৰফ বহুত গৰম সেইবোৰ যেতিয়া বামুলি মাৰি ধুনি বাঢ়ি যায় ওপৰলৈ যায় হিমালয় পৰ্বতৰ পৰা ধৰি পৰ্বত খুন্দা খুন্দলি খাই তাত ঠেকা আৰু তলৰ মাটিত থকা বৰফটো গলি যোৱাৰ ফলত নদীবিলাক খৰস্ৰোতাটো বেছি হৈ গ'ল আৰু খৰচতা বেছি হোৱাৰ কাৰণে গৰাখহনীয়া বেছি ৰূপ লৈছে পৃথিৱীৰ আয়তন আগতকৈ কমকেহে বঢ়া নাই সেইকাৰণে আমি মনত ৰখা দৰকাৰ জলবায়ু পৰিৱৰ্তন নিষ্কাশন কৰিবলৈ আমি জীয়াই থাকিবলৈ বতৰ অবিহনে আৰু পৃথিৱীৰ বিশ্বখনতে বিজ্ঞানীসকলে ঘোষণা কৰিছে সেইকাৰণে আশা ৰাখিছো বিশ্ববাসীৰ কৰিব লগা আছে ইমান থাকিম ইয়াত ইমান দিন ভাৰতীয় ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীয়ে নহয় পৃথিৱীৰ 700 মানুহৰ ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰী আৰু ভাৰতীয় প্ৰশাসন পৃথিৱীৰ প্ৰশাসনৰ লগত সেইকাৰণে অন্যান্য সেয়ে অহা ছেপ্টেম্বৰ মাহত মেক্সিকোৰ ৰাষ্ট্ৰপতিয়ে তাক দলিল কৰি আহিছো যে 10 বছৰ তেওঁলোকে বিচাৰিছে তাত 8 লাখ হেক্টৰ ৰাষ্ট্ৰপতিয়ে কিনি লৈছে মাটি তাত দিনে 1 লাখ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীক 3 মাহ থাকি পেলাই মানে সিহঁতক গছ পুলি ৰোৱাবলৈ শিকাব দিনে 1 লাখকে ল'ৰা ছোৱালীক শিকাব মেক্সিকো এইকাৰণে মোৰতো অকল যে অসমেই মোৰ ঘৰ ভাৰতেই মোৰ ঘৰ নহয় পৃথিৱীখন নহয় এতিয়া টাইমত কৈছো 7 দিন 8 ৰাতি তাত থাকিলে 2 ঘণ্টাই শুবলৈ স্কুল কলেজ ইউনিভাৰ্চিটিত যাব লাগে আৰু তাতকৈ ডাঙৰ কাম টাইনৰ ৰাষ্ট্ৰপতিগৰাকীয়ে ৰাষ্ট্ৰপতি ভৱনত প্ৰথম ফিতাটো ময়ে কাটিছো উদ্বোধন কৰিছো সেইকাৰণে সেই বিদেশত তেওঁলোকে ইয়াৰ বাবে দায়ী নহয় কিন্তু ভাৰতবৰ্ষৰ দায়ী উন্নয়নশীল দেশবিলাক দায়ী নহয় উন্নত দেশবিলাকে প্ৰত্যেকে প্ৰথমতে পৃথিৱী ধ্বংস কৰি দিলে যাৰ ফলত সিহঁতে এতিয়াহে অনুভৱ কৰিছে আমি শেষ কৰি দিম এতিয়া উন্নয়নশীল দেশবিলাক মই এপিজে আব্দুল কালাম ছাৰে এৱাৰ্ড দিছে বুলি মোক কোৱা নাই যে তেওঁ মোক যোৰহাট টুইট কৰিছিল বিশ্বৰ এটাইতকৈ ভাল কাম কৰাৰ কাৰণে বিশ্ববাসীয়ে all over the world the invest of Afghanistan. So এদিনৰ পৰা 3 দিন বিদেশ আৰু বিশ্ব সন্মিলন বিলাকত কৈ এপিজে আব্দুল কালামে ভাৰতক বহু ওপৰত থৈ গ'ল তাৰ বাবে পৃথিৱীৰ মানুহে ভয় কৰে আৰু ভাৰতীয় কলাকৃষ্টি সংস্কৃতি বিকাশ ভাৰতীয় আদৰ্শমতে বিশ্ববাসীৰ অনুপ্ৰেৰণা আছে বিশ্ববাসীৰ আঁকোৱালি এতিয়া বিশ্ববাসীলৈ আমাৰ আশীৰ্বাদ বিশ্ববাসীৰ মঞ্চাবিন কৰিব এদিন
ধন্যবাদ স্যার আপুনি যোনটো কথা কৈছে খুব গুৰুত্বপূৰ্ণ কথা যে আমি বাৰ্থডে যেতিয়া আমি পাতো আমি বাৰ্থডে এটা কেক কাটো কেক কাটাৰ ঠাইত আমি যদি গছ পুলি এডাল ৰুওঁ বাকি ল'ৰা ছোৱালীখিনিকো গছ পুলি আমি দিওঁ প্ৰেজেন্ট হিচাপে সঁচাই সেইটো বহুত গুৰুত্বপূৰ্ণ কথা কাৰণ সেনেকুৱা এটা কাম আমি আৰম্ভ কৰিলেহে চাগে আমি অলপকে আমি সেই সোণোৱালী গোটেই সেউজীয়া দেখিব পাম চাৰিওফালে নহলে চব কাটি খালি
আপোনালোকৰ বিষয়টি কৰে কাৰণে আপোনাক কৈছো এতিয়া অতুল কোম্পানী এলপি স্কুলৰ পৰা কৰিছে আজলৈকে সিহঁতে এই গছ পুলি ডাঙৰ কৰিছে সেইদৰে দিল্লীত তাত বিজ্ঞানীসকলে ঘোষণা কৰি দিছে যে ইয়াৰ পৰা পুলিটো বিপেল থকা বিলাকে আপোনাৰ এইটো ফটোটো দিব লাগে যদি পুলিটো বহুতে কেমেৰালৈ চাই পৰীক্ষা বিজ্ঞানীসকলে তাত ডাউনলোড কৰি দিছে আৰু পুলিটো যদি প্ৰথম ফাৰ্ষ্ট টাইমত যি পুলি ৰুইছিল কঁঠাল ৰুইছিল যদি 6 টাইমলৈকে কিমান ডাঙৰ হ'ল লাষ্টত সেইটো দেখুৱাব লাগে তাত ডাউনলোড কৰি ৰাখিছে যদি আপুনি প্ৰথম আম ৰুই পেলাই যদি পিছত কঁঠাল দেখুৱাইছে তেতিয়া
হয়
দিল্লী এইটো সাইন্টিফিক আছে সেইকাৰণে আমাৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীক মই যদি অসমত থাকি আমাৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীক শিক্ষা দিওঁ সেইটো তাতকে বহুত উৎসাহজনক কৰিব সেইকাৰণে সৰ্বানন্দ মুখ্যমন্ত্ৰী হৈ থাকোঁতে গভৰ্ণৰ থাকোঁতে তেওঁলোকে পুলি ৰুইছে এমএলএ চাই আছে এতিয়া মই ডাইৰেক্ট ক'লে এই দুইটাই পৰীক্ষাত কৰিম এজোপা গছ ৰুই 5 বছৰ কালত ইমান ডাঙৰ হ'ল সেইটো কৰাৰ পিছত তেতিয়াহে আনক কৰিম সেইকাৰণে প্ৰতিটো গছ পুলি ৰোৱাটো ছাবজেক্টটো খুব প্ৰয়োজন আছে আৰু তাতকৈ দুখ লাগে আপোনালোকৰ ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰীক হ'ব আগলৈ যেতিয়া মই ভাৰতবৰ্ষৰ বিভিন্ন বাতৰিতে হওক IAS হওক IPS হওক IFS হওক তাত গৈ দেখিছো ইমান উত্তৰ পূৰ্বাঞ্চলত ধুনীয়া বিৰতিখন থাকোঁতে এটা ল'ৰা 2020 চনত IFS কম লজ্জাজনক বিষয়নে দক্ষিণ ভাৰতৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালী আছে সেইকাৰণে আমাৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীক আজি কেন্দ্ৰীয় বিদ্যালয়ত পঢ়া ল'ৰা ছোৱালীবিলাক কি পঢ়ে ডক্টৰ ইঞ্জিনিয়াৰ তেওঁলোক আউট অফ ইণ্ডিয়া ভাৰতবৰ্ষত নাথাকে সেইটো খুব দুৰ্ভাগ্যজনক আৰু যিবোৰ নিজৰ মাতৃভাষাত অধ্যয়ন কৰে সিহঁতে IAS IPS পঢ়ে সেইটোতো কিমান গুৰুত্ব এটা কেন্দ্ৰীয় বিদ্যালয়ত পঢ়া ল'ৰা ছোৱালী IAS IFS এটাও নাই ভাৰতবৰ্ষ সেইটো কম দুৰ্ভাগ্যজনক বিষয়নে ভাৰতীয় পইচাৰে পঢ়ে লোকৰ দেশ ডেভেলপ কৰে মোৰ দেশ আমাক কি দৰকাৰ আছে জানো মই বিশ্ব সন্মিলনবিলাকত দেখিছোৱেই যে বিশ্বৰ শতকৰা 30% ঠাইত ইণ্ডিয়া চব আউট অফ ইণ্ডিয়া ভাল ডক্টৰ ভাল ইঞ্জিনিয়াৰ চব আউট ভাৰতীয় পইচাৰে পঢ়ে লোকৰ দেশ ডেভেলপ কৰে মৰিব মৰা এইটো আমাক কি দৰকাৰ সেইকাৰণে MDMত কৈছো ভাৰতীয় মহিলা হিচাপে ইঞ্জিনিয়াৰ কাট আছে তেওঁ এডুকেশ্যন মিনিষ্টাৰ আৰু ভাৰতৰ প্ৰধানমন্ত্ৰী কৈছো যি পৰ্যন্ত ভাৰতীয় কলা কৃষ্টি সংস্কৃতি বিকাশ নহয় সেই ক্ষেত্ৰত দেশে উন্নতি সাধন আৰু সেইবোৰ মাতৃভাষাত শিক্ষা দিব লাগিব এতিয়া নিশ্চিত ষষ্ঠ শ্ৰেণীৰ মাতৃভাষাটো ভাৰতবৰ্ষৰ ক্লাছ 10লৈকে দিয়ে হয় ভাষা জনা দৰকাৰ কেতিয়া দৰকাৰ হয় যেতিয়া মই ইংলেণ্ডলৈ যাম ভাষা কলা কৃষ্টি সংস্কৃতি জনা দৰকাৰ কেতিয়া দৰকাৰ হয় ক্লাছ 10 কৰাৰ পৰা উচ্চ শিক্ষা জ্ঞান ল'বলৈ যাম আৰু সেইবোৰ শিক্ষা জ্ঞান ল'বলৈ যাওঁতে শেষ কৰাৰ পিছত আকৌ ভাৰতলৈ ঘূৰি আহিব কম পইচাতে কৰক দেশৰ উন্নতি সাধন কৰিব সেয়ে আমাৰ দেশৰ শিক্ষাৰ্থী হ'ব লাগে সেইটো ভাৰতৰ প্ৰধানমন্ত্ৰীক অনুৰোধ কৰা হৈছে শিক্ষামন্ত্ৰীক অনুৰোধ কৰা হৈছে পৰিৱেশ মন্ত্ৰীক অনুৰোধ কৰা হৈছে যে তেওঁলোকে ষষ্ঠ শ্ৰেণীলৈকে এইবছৰ দিছে নিজৰ মাতৃভাষা মাধ্যমৰ ক্লাছ 10 সেইকাৰণে বহুখিনি আশা ভৰসা আছে আপোনালোকৰ উচ্চ শিক্ষাৰ ওপৰত শ্ৰদ্ধা আছে যে আমাৰ সেইটো আমি ল'ৰা ছোৱালীক শিক্ষকে যদি নুজানে তেতিয়া ল'ৰা ছোৱালীক কেনেকৈ শিকাব সেইটো বহুত ডাঙৰ কথা নহয় জানো প্ৰেক্টিকেল ইয়াত পৃথিৱীৰ আপোনালোকে আপোনালোকক নিৰ্বাচন
ধন্যবাদ স্যার আপুনি ইমানখিনি আমাক কথা শিকালে যে আমাৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীখিনি নতুন উঠি অহা প্ৰজন্মখিনিক আপুনি ইমান ধুনীয়াকে বস্তুখিনি বুজালে যে কি কৰিব লাগে কি দৰকাৰ হয় এইখিনি হসাই মানুহ আমাৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীখিনি এইখিনি জানাটো উচিত হয় ইয়াতে আমাৰ কিছুমান আমাৰ অতিথিও আছে যোন সৰু কণমানি অতিথি এজন আছে যোনজন বেংগলোৰৰ পৰা আমাক লগত কানেক্ট হৈছে যোনে কৰি আছে বহুতখিনি চেষ্টা কৰি আছে মই সঁচাই ধন্যবাদ জনাইছো স্যাৰ আপুনি যে আপোনাৰ সময় আমাক দিলে এইখিনি বুজাবৰ কাৰণে সঁচাই ধন্যবাদ স্যাৰ coming back to Akanksha again. Akanksha, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So I'm so sorry that I have to disconnect with you for some time.
No problem.
So we'll come back. We come back to this question again. Like as you have said that because why you have chosen the plastic bottles. I also want to know, like, are you providing any other skill development programs too for these children?
Yeah, so I was just continuing with the plastic part. I'll let you know everything just in a moment. Okay. So initially when we started, the first problem that we saw was burning of plastic among the students. During winters to keep them warm or for cooking and all that. So we thought of having a recycling center at school where we would teach them why it is like important to not use plastics and how it is harming our environment. So that is how we started. And then initially we taught them the importance of not using, and then we asked them to get plastics to school to make bricks that I'll be talking about. So initially when we asked them to get plastics to school, they thought, why are we even asking them to get plastic? That's like something out of the box. Like we are coming to school to learn, or why would we bring plastics? And then it was really difficult to make them understand that we are having a recycling center, we're trying to recycle. So how we had to tackle this problem is that we had to speak to their parents and then make them understand what we are going to do. So what we do is they bring plastics every week, 25 to 30 plastic packets, as well as bottles, plastic bottles, and we collect it in our recycling center, and we make eco bricks out of it. So how we make the eco bricks is basically stuffing a plastic bottle with 20 to 40 plastic packets, and then like stuffing it really hard, which the structure becomes really hard and can be used as a brick for any construction project. So we also use it for beautification constructions around the school. So initially we started with making the eco brick, and then they really not good. And I mean, like, we did not get a lot of plastics coming in from their end. So that so what we thought was we did not take any fees from the students initially, but then we thought, just to bring a kind of, we asked the students that if you're not bringing plastics, then we won't be able to teach you. Or to put it in a very right way, we use plastics as a fee. So they will have to give us plastics in order to study at our school. So we call it plastics as a fee. So that's how also we had various sessions with the community, the society, the parents, as well as the students. So gradually they started to understand why we were doing it, and then how we are trying to protect our environment in a way. So now again the response are really good. They also understood. So they collect plastics from around their area, and also we have fixed timing at school where to do the stuffing and make eco bricks out of it. And then we make recently we made pathways, and also we are planning to make a wall, like it can be used as a brick. So we are also having this recycling machines, which is all set up, but because of the COVID situation, we could not start with the machines. So with the machines, it will be a lot easier to compress the plastics, and also we will be able to make various other meaningful uh, products. And we are also thinking of creating a marketplace for the kids, wherein they can, sell whatever they produce. So also we have various other teaching, different kind of teaching techniques we use at school. First of all, we have like tablet classes where the student learns maths through tablets. They have audio visual classes, and then like we're trying to connect them with the technology, as the world is so much technologically advanced. And then if talking about the underprivileged students, it's like really impossible for them to even imagine. So that's why we thought of connecting with the technology from a very young age, so that when they grow up, it won't be a very separate world for them, right? So also talking about the problem of school dropouts, I told you when we started, we also have this like problem in that area. So how we thought of tackling that? Because okay, all right, we have recycling center, we have various teaching techniques which maybe will indulge the student in a very playful, or they would learn, like maths is not a subject which everyone is comfortable with or enjoys learning, right? So that's why we thought of tablets. Okay, fine, that is another thing. But then, how to deal with this problem of school dropouts? School dropouts, first of all, why it happens? Because the students or the children, they start to earn from a very young age. They start to contribute to their family, and because of which even their parents feel like, okay, like when they're earning, why do they need to even study? Because anyways, they are not going to be any doctor or engineer. So that's how their mindsets are basically. So we also gave thought on that, and what we have, like we have this thing which we call student teacher, as in the elder teacher, elder students, the students from the higher levels. We have from level 1 till level 10. So students from the higher level teaches the younger levels. So we call this session as matchup sessions, where we have separate periods for that. So every day the elder kids teaches the younger ones, and they get paid for it. So we call it like earning while learning. So they are also earning here, like otherwise, like how otherwise they would be earning while working as a laborer in a factory or any other quarry. So they're also earning here, but while learning. So while doing something good. So what we do is like they have this session, and when we teach one kid, they get a particular amount. We have this toy money structure. We don't give them cash, because see, if we give them cash, they would be using it for any other means, and that'll be really not what we are thinking of doing. That is not our entire goal or motive. So what we are thinking of, like we have this account kind of Google sheet which we maintain every day. So it depends on their like if a higher level 9 is teaching level 6, let's say. So per student gets, for example, the higher the level is, the higher the money they get. For example, for per kid, they will get 20 rupees. If they teaches 2 kids, it will be 20 plus 20, 40 per day. So that's how it gets adds to their account. So on every Friday, we have this a session where they can, buy whatever they like from their account money. So we have like from any online source, from Amazon, let's say from Myntra, if someone likes something, some toys, or it can be any a dress, a T-shirt, whatever they like. So they can, it's like they are earning, and also they are being able to buy whatever they like for their own money. And also we use, like they can also use this money for any family occasions as well. So we speak to the parents, and that's how we hand over the money sometimes, like the money sometimes. Not always, considering because they are really young. So yeah, that is one thing.
And
So
Akanksha,
but
yeah, I just wanted to know, like, till what class do you have in your school? It's for class up to class 10 or it's up to class 12?
no, it's up to class 10. Up to class 10, and then they give their class 10 by NIOS. We don't follow any board though. We have worksheet system. We don't use books. We have worksheets for various levels, which is with a very interactive class sessions. And like I would like to invite all of you if any day
Yes,
if you get a chance.
I had
Yeah.
visited your school once for an invitation program, and I really enjoyed the environment. It was like we
Yeah.
could spend hours and hours there. It was so serene amidst the trees. There is a small
Yeah.
place. It's quiet. It's calm. It's really a very good place.
Yeah.
And the interactions that you do with the children and the way you are trying to make them self-sufficient. You're trying to
Yeah.
fulfill all their wishes at the same time you are encouraging them to study also. This is quite amazing.
Yeah, and also the importance of earning is also like through that what they understand is like how hard it is to earn money. From a very young age, they would know that
So
like the hard work.
so once they pass on with the 10th standard, so whatever money they have collected, so you refund it to them, like whatever they collected.
This is our first batch who is going to give their level 10. So after that, we're thinking of having our 11th and 12th as well. So we will soon be having. So that is another thing because of COVID, everything got shut. Yeah. So also apart from that, we have vocational trainings as well because we believe that practical learning is very important. So we have various vocational trainings like electrician training, carpentry training, mixed martial arts, or craft and then landscaping where they learn gardening, farming, and various other things, and also office work like how to use a computer, how to print outs, and how to scan, and all those things as well. So like it depends on whatever they are interested in, they can go for the classes. Like it happens every day regularly at our school. So we also have those kind of trainings as well because like there are few kids who are not really good at studies. We cannot force them, right? But at least if we can train them well in the area in which they are good at. For example, if someone is really interested in, let's say, carpentry, then they would learn at school, and then later it'll be easier for them to earn a living.
Exactly.
So yeah.
That is really a wonderful initiative, and truly you are doing such a good job teaching these underprivileged children who would have otherwise taken a different route, or maybe who would have gone and helped their parents. And we understand that area, that Pamuhi area, where there are some remote villages also, which are not which you cannot connect with otherwise. So it's a very wonderful initiative, Kanksha. Seriously, Akshar Foundation is doing really good in the sustainable development. We are running short of time, but before that, I don't want to miss the parent who also has to set some examples on how to teach our children sustainable development. Uh, Coming to you, Gopa. It was nice having you on our show. I have been knowing you since our college days. So tell me how all this thought has come to your mind of doing something like that. I had been following you in your Instagram handle, and I could see you posting lot of inspirational things on how you are managing a sustainable lifestyle, and you are preaching that to your children also. So can you just give us your story?
Yes, thank you, Pinashi, so much for inviting me to this platform. And I feel myself nowhere in front of these great speakers actually. I'm just taking a baby step in my own way. If you ask me what made me think or what made me to do take this step, this picture will tell you. Can you see?
We couldn't see.
Yeah, it's like it has come on today's Assam Tribune.
Okay.
Acha, it's like greater stock on the top of a garbage heap at Borgaon dumping site
Okay.
on the eve of World Environment Day. It's a garbage, you see garbage, heap of garbage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the vultures. We could see the vultures now. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, yes, yes.
So imagine the waste that we are creating every day.
Correct.
Imagine.
Instead
So
of
these kind of articles, yes,
floating around, instead of them being floating around the greenery, they are floating around those garbages.
yes, and this is indirectly and directly affecting us
Correct.
because it is the soil is getting polluted, the air is getting polluted, and who is consuming this us and our future generation.
Correct.
So, and like another thing I like to say that sustainable living and whatever the concept is not a new thing. It's been going on for ages. If you remember when we were growing up, maybe when we were babies, we didn't wear diapers, disposable diapers.
Correct. Correct.
It's only recently that people are using disposable diapers. So this sustainable living is not a new concept for us actually. But with technology, with advanced living, things have changed. Instead of taking your bag for shopping, people don't mind taking a bag shopping nowadays because how to buy a no bag to
Exactly. Exactly.
These are the small things that we need to focus on. You don't have to go and do something there to make the environment friendly and something. Just and for your part only, you can do small steps,
Exactly.
right? Like for example, just I was just listening to everyone. The main thing they were doing is like reducing use of plastic.
Mm-hmm.
So in my society, like where I stay, every month what we do like whatever kind of plastic we consume, like anything we buy that comes in the plastic, we wash them and keep it separately to be given away for recycling.
Okay.
Okay, so there is one organization, they will come every month to the housing society and collect all the plastic that we have been collected.
Mm-hmm.
So these are small steps that one can do on their part for the environment. You don't have to go out, plant trees or thousand trees and do so many things. On your personal level, if you can do something, that can be very helpful.
So, tell me one thing. Do you face any hurdles during while you are adopting this form of a lifestyle?
Others, yes, firstly, it was very difficult to make people understand that what I am up to. People will laugh at you like, "Arey, kya matlab? What are you doing? Why you need to do this? Why need to take a carry bag while you go out for shopping? You'll obviously going to get a bag. Like suppose I will show you an example. Whenever we go out like for the longer days, I always carry my cutlery set.
Okay.
It has a straw, a spoon, and a one quart of cloth. Okay. Like if someone sees me like I'm carrying this straws and spoon, they laugh at me. "Arey, why are you carrying this?" I carry my own water bottle. I carry a small cup. Also, people laugh like, "Why? Like, why suppose you're going to have tea? Obviously, you're getting it in a cup, right?" The thing is that you're getting a tea in a cup, which is a disposable one.
Mm-hmm.
What will you do after having the cup of tea? You're going to throw it away, right?
Right.
And what is going to happen to that small, tiny cup of tea?
It will.
Have you ever imagined? It is just going to be lie at the landfill and it will look like this.
Yes.
So
Correct.
these are small things that I came across around some articles also on online also that made me think of how I can change what steps I can adopt at my personal level to make a small contribution towards Mother Earth. And I can see the same, my child is also adapting to, you can see like whenever he like eats the chocolate, he will not throw it in the dustbin. He knows that this particular mom will wash it and this will go to one particular place, designated place where I put a plastic. Even for wet waste like having a banana, after having a banana, that thing doesn't go to the dustbin. We have a compost at home, and all the wet waste like your peels, banana peels, like fruit peels, vegetable peels, everything gets composted, and the same we use for our kitchen garden.
Correct.
So these are the things I'm trying to adopt at my level to help something, help Mother Earth.
Yes, even I had been doing this compost pit thing. I make my own vermiculture, vermi manure, because I have raised some earthworms. I have made some two big drums wherein I put on all the kitchen waste in that, and it converts into good manure which I use because I have a kitchen garden, I have a flower garden, and I use only organic stuffs. I prefer not to use any pesticides because I want to live that way. I want to give that part to my child. Anyways, we are going out, we are buying vegetables. We have to use it because living in a place like with scarcity of space, we can only go for small gardens. But at least I can give 1 to 2% of an organic stuff to my child, and that actually satisfies my mind. Thank you so much, Gopa, for joining us. Uh,
Ma'am,
yes, Iman?
I would like to interrupt something.
Sure.
Gopa ma'am actually showed a picture of a few strokes in the dumping site of Guwahati. I want to share a very important and interesting thing about it. It's called the Greater Adjutant Stop. And the interesting fact is that there is a saying basically the nature finds a way, you know. So the Greater Adjutant Stop is a critically endangered species, and around I think 2016-17 data, if you see, there is only 1,200 individuals left in this world, and that is only distributed in Assam and nearby areas. And one of the most highest density population is found in the Guwahati Dam. That's one of the that damp that dumping site is one of the most important habitat for this bird. And second most distributed, heavily distributed region is the Sibsagar one. But the first is always the Guwahati dump yard. So that's a very interesting thing. Even though the plastic is really a problem out there, but I think it has adapted to that environment and has been doing great. And due to that, bird, Dr. Burman even have received Whitley Awards. That's also for the Green Oscars. That's by conservation of that bird. That bird is actually a very primitive species. That's a very primitive species. It has not been developed, not been adapted to the new things around new environment. But very interestingly, it has got very much acquainted with the plastics around there. So in a way, it is it's a bit irony that we are littering the place and using that much of garbages on dumping and that much wastage. And other hand, it's one of the best habitats for that bird. So in some way, you can see a lot of these examples all around you.
Yes, and I think that is the creation of mankind only, that we are forcing these birds to leave their natural habitat and get settled in places which are not hygienic. Because if they are in those dumping areas, that means they look for food in those dumping areas. They are not being able to get food naturally. That is the problem they must have been facing. Anyways, it's a big controversy, or it is a big discussion. It will can go on and on and on, and we are running really short of time. But before winding up, I just wanted to have these children, if they wanted to have any interaction with any of the guests, I just wanted to ask that. Just wanted to know if anyone is having any questions for any of our guests tonight. Well, I don't think so. It's getting quite late for the children also. I think it's time for them also to go to bed. So we won't spend much of the time here. I will really be thankful to all the guests who has given their precious moments with us, shared those moments with us, and given us the time and shared their experiences in their own ways. We understand that it's exactly as Gopa has said it. It's not only about just planting trees. It's about little things that we can practice in everyday life. as Iman has said, and as Benuda has said, that if we can preserve our environment, it could give employment, it could bring tourism, and it could flourish. This flourishing will only help us. So we understand that. We also, if we check out on Jadhav sir's comments, he also mentioned that we need to plant trees, we need to do other things also along with planting trees. It's not only about planting trees. Yes, it's all about growing. It's all about cleaning the society, cleaning your own house, and trying to make it litter free. I often, when I travel, I often see people just throwing away a packet of chips from the window of their car, and I don't understand. I feel that okay, I'll go there and I'll just tell them, okay, sorry, you have forgot, you have thrown something, it must be yours. But then it's always in the mind that okay, what might I get as an answer. But truly speaking, I really wanted to do that because I do not want my city to look dirty, but more than that, I do not want the animals, the birds, to feed on those places, because I could see those stray dogs looking for food. In fact, whenever I go out for food distribution among among the dogs, when I give them good healthy food, they turn their face and they go to those garbages and they try to find out food from there. So that's quite an irony, and it is all created by mankind. But we need to keep on trying. We need to keep on preserving this planet Earth, because if we don't do it, then how can we teach our children? How will they learn from our footsteps? So thank you so much for giving your input, Sharnavya. We will get in touch with you for more inputs, and I think we will have a lot to learn from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you to Sharnavya's parents also, Surabhi and Shantanu, who had been continuously helping me out to get in touch and to organize this whole program successfully. Thank you, Gopa, for joining. Thank you, Iman, for giving so much of input. Thank you,
Thank you so much, Meenakshi.
Thank you, Benuda. Thank you, Akanksha. Thank you, Akanksha, for putting light on such an innovative way of teaching children. And seriously, it's not only a role of only the students, it's the role of the parents, it's the role of the children, it's the role of the society at large to work towards the preservation of our environment. Thank you so much. Lastly, I would like to thank Jadhav sir also for being a part of this show. And it is like it was wonderful having a chit chat with you. Good night, and once again, a happy Environment Day. It doesn't end today. It starts from today, and I think it should continue for another 1 year. If we can each day, 365 days, if we put a single step towards a sustainable lifestyle, maybe we could achieve at least 1% of what we want to do. Thank you so much, and good night, everyone.
Good night.